Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the cryptocurrency market today as we head into a 3-day weekend for Memorial Day. Notice how Bitcoin is still having a cup of coffee below the 200 period moving average on the daily chart, and we have yet to see any price action above the 200-day moving average and the previous weekly open coming into that $40,000 big even. And in my opinion, as an umpire, this isn't how I'd like to walk into the weekend, still below this 200 period moving average on the daily chart. So we have a lot of things to talk about today because you can see we are coming down today to test this weekly open here at 35,000, and we know if this level breaks, we do open a door that could potentially take us 30% down towards that $24,000 level. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, do you think we'll find support at 32,000? In my opinion, as an umpire, looking at the market structure where we came and formed this low, and then we formed a higher low, at this point, we don't want to get back below the $35,000 level where we have the weekly open, because if we do, that opens the door to that $24,000 level. And as I just mentioned, that is over 30% downside. And so we are walking into an extended weekend where the markets are the most manipulated due to CME futures being closed. And so we have a lot of schematics to talk about today when it comes to Bitcoin's price action and this new daily candle that has just opened in the last 10 minutes. And that's why I waited to make this video, because this body of yesterday's candle just now came below 36,500 to test the weekly open at 34,800, which is the major support that we need to hold. It's not a coincidence that yesterday's candle low was 34,684, within $100 of the number that we've had drawn out here for the last 90 days. And so there is a downside and an upside scenario to talk about, and we'll look into that and also cover Ethereum, of course, because we look at the Ethereum to US dollar price. Notice how we are below this channel where Ethereum in the past has been a good opportunity to long. However, because we're below the monthly open right now, we do have a potential test of this weekly open here at that $2,000 big even on the table right now. And so we want to monitor this. This is a very large range Ethereum is in. And the last time we broke this range, we did dip all the way down to that 1970 area, actually coming down all the way to 1760 to be exact. So very interesting things happening with Ethereum, and then we'll look at others' dominance and Bitcoin dominance, because of course, notice here with Bitcoin dominance still showing weakness. And we'll also talk a little bit about the total cryptocurrency market cap chart. We are below the 20-week moving average here, about to close this weekly candle with a possibly bearish tail. It is the weekend. This is the time that it's the most manipulated in the cryptocurrency market. And so we're going to talk about some extremely important levels to watch as we head into this extended weekend. I hope you all have an amazing Memorial Day. You guys are watching the Snipers channel. My name is Naeem Al-Abeidi. Remember to smash the like button if you want us to hit 400 likes. Be a part of the movement, because we hit, I think, 360 likes in our video yesterday. So I'd love to see if we can hit 400 this time. A lot of you are showing a lot of support in the comments. I love seeing that. First, let's talk about what's happening here to Bitcoin. So notice here how we do have a lot of sell pressure. We've yet to see buy pressure equate to this on the daily time frame. And as we start to look more into the details of what schematics are playing out, we are coming into a 3-day weekend testing the weekly open right now at this major support. That, to me as an umpire, isn't exactly how I'd like to enter the weekend if I want to have a bullish bias for Bitcoin right now. And so far, notice how we've maintained ourselves below this previous weekly open, where we also have confluence with this 200-day moving average. That's not a good thing to just continue to have a cup of coffee after a major move to the downside, because when you're forming this flaggish type of pattern and you stay at this important destination, it typically means it's not the final destination. So we want to monitor 35,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. There's a reason the weekly open has confluence there, and if we start to close hourly and 4-hour candles below the weekly open, I maintain my thesis that it opens the door to the $24,000 level. However, it is an extended weekend. It doesn't mean we have to see manipulation to the downside. We could see manipulation to the upside. We could get back above this 200-day moving average in the weekend. The confirmation of that right now, we need to get this daily candle back at that $38,000 level. We've yet to even cross 36,500. So we already have one roadblock. We have that second roadblock. We need to get to that $38,000 level to first assume that there's even a potential of a continued rescue operation. And so once we get that $38,000 confirmation, then we can start looking at 42,500 again, the previous weekly open, where we potentially have continuation of the upside. But remember, as we head into this weekend, I always have my previous weekly opens in green. We're going to end up moving this down here. So this is going to be the important level to watch into next week. I just want to give you guys a reminder. I know it's an extended weekend, so be prepared is the point. And so looking into the 4-hour chart, I don't want to go too far into the micro because we are at an important macro destination, but you can see we still have this potential inverse head and shoulder pattern. If we cross that $35,000 level, it starts to invalidate that. So I maintain my thesis on the macro in the micro time frame there. And we look at Bitcoin CME futures charts. It's been a while since we've looked at this. I do want to mention that we do have this gap now up top here at 60,165. A lot of times when the whales like to top out a market, they want to leave a gap up top so that it allows for the potential for the price to get back to that level at some point or another. They did that in the cycle between 2017 and the 2020 cycle when Bitcoin came up to around that $14,000 level. They left the gap up at 11,000, and by the time Bitcoin came down to 3,000, it had the chance to go back to 11 and eventually did. And so I just want to keep that on the chart as a puzzle piece that I just wanted to bring up, that we do have a CME gap at 60,165 on the daily chart. It's a very small gap, but it is a gap. And so we want to monitor this, keep that in mind. But other than that, we go into the Ethereum chart. Notice how we are in this oversold region where in the past it's been a good opportunity to long, but because we're inside of this large range, I would be waiting now at this point for us to potentially come down and test this weekly open here around that $2,000 big even. And so we really want to get Ethereum back inside of this channel, sitting right at that $2,500 level if we want to assume any further upside. Downside targets would be that 200-day moving average around that 1760 area where we previously bottomed out. I think Ethereum is still going to show strength, though. We're above 65,000 Satoshi, so that's one positive thing there. And we look at the total cryptocurrency market and the altcoin environment. Altcoins are still not in a bear market. They're not showing a trend reversal. They're having a cup of coffee above their 100-day moving average. It's not a bad thing. We are above the weekly open, so that's a positive thing. We're yet to come and test that, even though Bitcoin is. And so we're stuck in this small range, way and above home base. If we go onto the weekly chart, you can see this 20-week moving average still much and below where current price action is sitting for others' dominance. So as long as we stay above 12% dominance, I think that we can assume continued upside for altcoins and a continued altcoin season. And if we get above the 14.25% level dominance, we could assume a bullish market for the altcoins. And with Bitcoin dominance, it's still continuing to trend down. And it looks like to me it wants to head towards this 40% level again and potentially come down finally to that 35% level, because this previous weekly open isn't going to matter as much anymore as we head into this Memorial Day weekend. And so the total cryptocurrency market cap chart, we want to monitor this weekly candle that closes in 2 days. We currently have a bearish tail that could change. So let's continue to watch this. We want to get above that $1.6 trillion level, gets us above home base. That would be the first confirmation of continued upside in the overall market. A lot of that will have to do with what Bitcoin is doing. And so it is Friday, so we cover how the traditional markets have closed. The DXY did see a little bit of some turbulence causing the meltdown with the cryptocurrency market. Let's continue to monitor this wick. It does look bearish at this point, and so now that this is closed, it looks like we might still see some calmness into next week, but there was a little bit of some vibration today with this daily candle, and the S&P 500 reacting to that, to the downside, still above the monthly previous and current weekly open. So that's a positive thing. Still very bullish in its trend. Oil looking to break its previous high here, closing the week, and precious metals still showing strength. You can see silver above this major resistance, looking to break out, which gold has already started to break out. So very interesting stuff happening in the markets. I can't wait to cover the weekend. It's going to be an extended weekend. It's going to be a lot of volatility, in my opinion. So can't wait to cover it. And I do want to give away one of my favorite books on investing, Principles by Ray Dalio, hardcover version. If you want to win this book, comment below and share this video. I'll pick a winner from our video yesterday, and we'll wrap up this video. And I was overwhelmed with work today, and the charts were also going crazy. And so I know this video is a little bit late. I thank each and every one of you for your patience. And once again, I couldn't do this without you. Joe Clark, send me a message on Instagram. We'll go ahead and send a book out to you. And I appreciate each and every one of you snipers. Thank you for tuning in today. And until next time, snipers out.